piss dome. That's what I'm calling this golden dome. I'm calling it a piss dome. Because why would you call it a golden dome? Well, we all know why Trump's calling it a golden dome. Because he's obsessed with gold. That's really about it. What we got here? So, I think Trump proposed this before, like on the campaign trail. He was just like, we're gonna have something like the Iron Dome, and like Israel. Even though I find it really strange, I'll be honest. I'm like, why do you want an Iron Dome like Israel when you guys aren't getting constantly hit with like random bottle rockets every other day or something? I don't know. It's very strange. But I guess, it's got to be a golden dome because Trump, he likes his golden showers. Let's just say that.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here in the Oval Office, one of the great places of the world.
Yeah, you guys are flanked by oceans. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. He says it's going to take care of space threats and other shit. Honestly, it's just an excuse to give for military industrial complex contractors. Like, that's it. Serves no other purpose.
Announcement about the Golden Dome missile defense shield. That's something we want, and Ronald Reagan wanted it many years ago, but they didn't have the technology. But it's something we're going to have. We're going to have it at the highest level. I want to thank Secretary Hegseth, who's been fantastic, and Secretary Rubio.
Okay, I'm just curious. Did Ronald Reagan want a fucking the piss dome or somthing? Like, is this even true? Or is this like just a meme or something? Or is this like something that Trump is misinterpreting or something? Because he misinterprets a lot of stuff. Did anyone want the piss dome? That's what I don't understand. Who wanted the piss dome? Why a piss dome? Why does Trump want a piss dome so bad?
And Space Force Vice Chief of Space Operations, General Mike Goodline. I also want to recognize Senators Dan Sullivan, Kevin Cramer, and Jim Banks, fantastic senators, great talents, great political talents, and people that love our country. In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architect.
Yeah, man, because this is... Okay. I think I know why now. Ronald Reagan presided probably some of the more tumultuous times during the Cold War because this is when the Soviet Union was more or less about to collapse. So, given the fact that the Soviet Union was about to, I don't know, head the way of the dodo bird, more or less, and just become extinct, I don't even know. Was Ronald Reagan even talking about wanting to have like a better sort of like foreign missile defense within America? Because that's what I find it strange because this is like this is like a really really good way to describe Trump. Is he very often just seemingly just likes to get autistic fixations on a lot of different stuff, you know. Oh, you just like me for real, for real. But like, I just find it strange. Like, what purpose does the Golden Dome serve? Like, why do you want this? Like, the only other thing I can think now is just because he just wants to do this because this is just like his particular fixation or something. Listen, Boy Meets Mini, I will definitely lump all autistic people into this, okay? Get the hell out of here. Alright, this is all on us, okay?
For this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them.
We did? Canada Golden Dome. I heard him say this claim, and it's just like, eh? Just kind of weird. Canada wants to join. Donald Trump says Canada has asked. So this might have been during the talks, like after the Trump Carney presser, where they had talks about this, and they wanted Carney wanted us to join or something. Okay. Sure. Why not? Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada is looking at participating. Looking at participating. So, no confirmation, but maybe. Okay. Sure, man.
They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden
There's no I don't believe this even for a second. We're gonna have this done in 3 years. I don't believe that for a second, dude. No shot this is being done in 3 years, dude. The Iron Dome around Israel, if we want to do a size comparison just alone, Israel is like fucking tiny in comparison to the United States. And the Iron Dome has like a couple of systems. It's like 10 different interceptor locations, right? With like a bunch of different radars and tracking systems to track the foreign objects. Typically, that would be the missiles. And then it would calculate, just be like, okay, you know, use this interceptor to intercept that missile or whatever. That's a very simple, like, TLDR version of how this thing is supposed to work. But, like, the idea that just, in comparison, like, just the scalability is what I'm, like, thinking about here. 3 years? No shot.
Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. We helped Israel
space missiles.
And,
sure.
It was very successful, and now we have technology that's even...
I'm trying to think, like, intercepting, like, from what from space? Why from space? Like, when the ICBM, like, goes over the event horizon and starts to come back down, it can also be intercepted from up there?
Been far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles, all of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the one big beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion.
Because we saw what Pakistan and India did to each other? Is that why he wants... No, he was talking about this before that happened, Boy Meets Mini. He was, like, talking about this fucking Golden Dome system. I know, I think it's just one of his It's just one of his fixations at the moment, I'll be honest.
$1 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon, I'm also announcing that...
How much money?
Probably, you're talking about... General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon, I'm also announcing that I will appoint...
There's no fucking way this is only $175 billion. I call cap on that. I think that's bullshit. Because, like, how much does it cost? How much did the Iron Dome cost to build? So yeah, it's meant to intercept and destroy short-range rockets and artillery shells. So stuff from like Hezbollah, generally speaking. That's why. What's the cost? %90 hit rate. $70,000 to $100,000 per interceptor. That's a pretty penny. How much did it cost to build? Build. No? No build cost? A lot of interceptors, blah, 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 blah. Cost. Costing too much. Yeah, because that's the main fucking problem here, right? Like, the things that the Iron Dome are meant to intercept is very, like, inexpensive in comparison to the interceptors used to intercept them. And that's, like, the main problem with it. I'm just trying to think, like, what? Cost of each Tamir interceptor missile was cited in 2014 from about $20,000 to $50,000 US. And there's no way, like, any of the rockets that fucking, the custom rocket costs around $800, and Hamas grad rockets cost only several thousands of dollars. Yeah, in terms of cost effectiveness, Iron Dome is not really great because, again, what is it meant to be intercepting? Like little fucking bottle rockets. It's like, okay, dude, whatever. Nautilus laser defense system. Lasers. But that's also very, very expensive as well. It's just very weird. Yeah, so far from what I understand, it's just like, this is just not effective because of the cost. Not to mention maintenance as well. You need people to maintain these things as well. It's just like, this shit's gonna be expensive. Only $175 billion to build? How much is it gonna cost taxpayers to maintain this fucking thing? That's my question.
Point, very importantly, General Gutlein to lead the ambitious new effort as the direct reporting program manager for the Golden Dome. Very talented man, and I'm very honored to have been the one that helped or really created Space Force. Space Force has turned out to be...
We love the Space Force, folks, don't we?
Now we're number one in space by a lot. It's not even close. And Mike is a four-star Space Force
number one in space.
Recipient of the Defense Distinguished Service Medal. One of the most respected people in the world having to do with defense. You know, we have offense and we have defense. But he's good at offense too. And he has an unmatched background in missile warning technology and defense procurement. General Gutlein also knows that we're
really good in
space. One is
space.
more qualified for his job, and everybody. This was a universal acceptance of General Gutlein. Everybody that knows him and knows everybody else, they said there's only one man for the job, so I have a feeling we have the right guy. But now I'd like to invite Secretary Hegseth
We love the Space Force,
to say a few
folks.
words and describe the system a little bit. And we appreciate you being here. The press has really been very fair over the last period of a couple of months. I don't know what happened to you. It was so much more exciting the other way, but you've been very, very...
Okay, the press is only being more fair in your eyes, quote unquote, because you threatened to either sue them or kick them out otherwise, you fucking goon. And the press, since they're held by fucking private hands, only care about the profit motive, don't want to upset that relationship too much because, hey, they want to get their scoops so they can make money. Like, no shit.
We have very high poll numbers, the highest we've ever had, and I think we're doing a great job. We had a
These poll numbers are going down. He's like Trump approval rating, like, isn't it it's going down, isn't it? 42%. Only 39% approve his economic stewardship. Yeah.
tremendous trip to the Middle East, as you know. It was a really amazing trip. And now I came home.
They gave me a lot of money.
I was really looking forward to this day because this is very important for the success and even survival of our country. It's a pretty evil world out there, so this is something that goes a long way toward the
Very bad, very evil.
This great country. And as I said, we'll be discussing Canada. They want to hook in and they want to see if they can be a part of it. That sort of makes sense. I guess that's what I was talking about from day one. You know, it just automatically makes sense, and it won't be very difficult to do, but they'll pay their fair share. Thank you very much, everybody. And Pete, go ahead.
Well, Mr. President, add this to the long and growing list of promises made and promises kept. Ultimately, this right here, the Golden Dome for America, is a game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. Mr. President, you said we're going to
love America
and get 100% operational control after the previous administration allowed an invasion of people into our country. President.
Why are you bringing up immigration? What the fuck does immigration have to do with any of this shit with, like, missile interception? But again, like, as is always customary with the fascists, they always have to remind you constantly, like, the constant fucking saber rattling, but like, ooh, the scary brown, they're not like you, woo! It's ridiculous.
Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland from cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles.
Dude, look at the piss dome fucking poster they got here. Dude, we're gonna pee over America! Golden shower for America, let's go! Trump, why are you fucking projecting your fucking fetishes on everyone else, bro? No one wants your fucking piss, bro. Stop fucking... Where's Obama with the fucking pee tape, bro? Where's my man with the P-tape? What's going on, Obama?
Drones, whether they're conventional or nuclear. And it's not lost on me, sir, also, that you had the vision to...
Are there drones with nuclear capabilities? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case eventually, but... Really? That's crazy. Yeah, I can't believe that Trump would push his fucking piss fetish on us. Shaking my head.
Start the Space Force. And here we are, when the others said we didn't need it, here we are in the Oval Office with one of the leaders of the Space Force in General Gutlein, leading the charge on putting in place a game-changing...
I mean, again, like, no, the Space Force isn't really needed, but you wanted to put the Space Force as an excuse in order to give the military-industrial complex more money. Like, that's it. Keep in mind, this is also the same motherfucker who's proposed $1 trillion fucking budget for the goddamn military. Now, let's not forget about that.
Golden Dome for America. So, sir, it's an honor to be a part of this bold initiative. We're going to get to work on it. We have been since you signed that executive order on January 27th. We've been fast forward on this. We're here on this day, and this is just one stop in delivering this defense of the homeland, which is something you've charged us with doing, and we'll keep going until it is complete, sir.
Thank you, Pete. Pete's doing a great job, by the way. Thank you very much. General,
He's doing so good, folks.
As we double down on protection of the homeland. As you're aware, our adversaries have become very capable and very intent on holding the homeland at risk. While we have been focused on keeping the peace overseas, our adversaries have been quickly modernizing their nuclear forces, building out ballistic missiles capable of hosting multiple warheads, building out hypersonic missiles capable of attacking the United States within an hour and traveling at 6,000 miles an hour, building cruise missiles that can navigate around our radar and our defenses, building submarines that can sneak up.
I mean, like, I'm trying to think, like, who would have these capabilities? Probably the Chinese, right? Definitely not the Russians, because we've all seen, like, the stupid, like, Russian, like, commercials where they're just like, look at all these shit we've made. And then, like, it's always a red herring, like, more or less, most of, like, 90% of the time, it's just like, look, we're very good, comrade. And it's just like, yeah, sure, man. Totally. Great job, Russians. Like, do they have the hypersonic missiles? Maybe. Who the hell really cares? It's all just like, it's all like fucking security theater bullshit in the end anyways, right?
On our shores, and worse yet, building space weapons. It is time that we change that equation and start doubling down.
Space weapons.
Golden Dome is a bold and aggressive approach.
Oh my
to protect the
goodness.
homeland from our adversaries. We owe it to our children and our children's children to protect them and afford them a quality of life that we have all grown up enjoying. Golden Dome will afford that. I greatly appreciate your trust in me and your nomination in me and your trust in the team to deliver this. It is a great day for America.
And also very
Was this a guy who was like approved by Trump? No, I don't think so, right? I don't know. It's really dumb, dude. Yeah, it's not. It's just an excuse to give the military-industrial complex more money. That's the whole point of this. It's just stupid, dude. I doubt the Pentagon wants to start a war in low Earth orbit. Yeah, I feel like there might be a lot of consequences to doing that. You know, it's just a hunch that might not be a good thing to do. But
Space Force. We have a Space Force, folks. Think about it. It's really wonderful. It's so good. We love space.
Very importantly, we're the only ones that have this. We call it super technology. Nobody else has it, and nobody else has nearly
Sure, man.
near what we have. So this is a very exciting project. This is something that will, I mean, the general said close to 100% protection. So that's something we need. I think it's a very, and everything's going to be made in the USA, by the way, very important. So it's something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I just noticed
again, he keeps saying that this is something the U.S. needs. Like, do you guys actually fucking need this shit? Like, why do you need this? Well, I don't understand. It's just, that's the thing that I find to be the most perplexing, is like, why the fuck do they think that they need this? Like, it's just stupid. Yeah, maybe, like, yeah, that's a good point, Boy Meets Mini. Maybe in, like, the sort of, like, the dementia binges that fucking Ronald Reagan was having. Maybe he was the one who wanted to do, Star Wars the whole time or something. I don't know. There's just, like, because I'm, like, trying to think, like, what is the basis for any of this? Like, why? Just why? And so far, the only thing that I'm coming up with here, basically, is just, like, it's all just MIC fucking bullshit. That's it.
you too, Jim. You're standing there behind you is a very important document, Declaration of Independence, and that was in the vault for many decades right under this area. Vaults with pictures on top. You have Abraham Lincoln. You see that was the original Abraham Lincoln, the original Washington. And does everybody know who the middle was? General Grant. And so it's very exciting. You look over here, and above Ronald Reagan, you have Thomas Jefferson. That's Monroe from the Monroe document. And
Are we getting our old man fucking MTV Cribs tour? Like, what the fuck is this? Monroe from the Monroe document. We getting fucking old man dementia. Like, why are we? What? I don't understand. Why is he doing this? I'm just confused. Who was the host of MTV Cribs again? Was it Exhibit? Host of MTV Cribs. Maybe he should. Maybe like. No, I'm thinking of fucking Pimp My Ride. Such and Pack. Yeah, Trump's trying to do his best Such and Pack impression. Okay. I like, this is the second time that he's like doing this weird MTV crib shit, and it's just like, sure, Mr. President. Yeah, we love our Golden Dome and all this shit you're talking about. It's just it's really strange and confusing.
You know who that is, right? Andrew Jackson. So we have a lot of very exciting pictures, and on the other side, likewise, some great presidents.
All the pictures that you have, folks, are very exciting.
We're asking about them. Many of them, almost all of them, were in the vaults or nearby, but generally in the vaults downstairs. Where we have some great. So it's very exciting. The place has become a little different than you.
Very exciting.
It's a little bit different. It's slightly better, but to think we had them, and some were in the vaults for over 100 years. So it's pretty cool stuff. Everybody knows Jim Banks. He's a great congressman, and now he's a great senator from Indiana. And you might want to say a few words.
Well, your legacy with Space Force, Mr. President, is already big, but the Golden Dome is going to be an even bigger legacy for our country. And Indiana is going to help you make it. Right. The space satellites that are made in Fort Wayne, Indiana by L3 Harris.
Yeah, and that's what this is really all about, right? Securing of legacy. Because, like, Trump's probably not going to be able to do this for much longer, right? He's almost 80. And he's an old-ass man. By the time his current tenure is over, he's going to be like 82? 82? Something like that? He's going to be one old-ass man. I know that he also wants to do, like, a fucking, like, dumbass, like, military parade because, I don't know, he just wants to be a dictator so bad. It's just, it's one of those things where it's so fucking silly, dude. Anyone with, like, half a brain cell can see that this is just ridiculous, like, stupid, idiotic pandering. But, like, you know, in the mind of the fascist, like, oh, what do you mean, dude? Like, we must do everything for the goodwill of our leader at all times. You know, we know the meme.
All the work done at Crane Navy Base in Southern Indiana is going to be a big part of it, and Hoosiers are very proud of that. We're proud of you. Thank you very much.
It'll be a big factor. Thank you, and good luck, and congratulations. You won
Say
that race by a
Hoosiers.
lot. That wasn't even a contest, right?
Well, thanks to you and all of your support.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Hoosiers?
Please go ahead. Mr. This is Senator Kramer, and he's one of our best. Can't get any better. Go ahead.
Well, you're very nice, Mr. President, and thanks for this. And I remember the day in your first term when you called it. I was a brand new baby freshman senator on the Armed Services Committee, and you said, I want to have a Space Force. Would you lead the effort on the Senate Armed Services Committee? And I felt so proud thinking that you chose me only to find
Space
out.
Force.
But nonetheless, it worked out really well because North Dakota has some great space assets and that contribute to that and to Golden Dome. No surprise that you would be the one.
Whoa, Space Force, guys.
First. And this
Epic.
is one more example of that. So thanks for this and for allowing me this afternoon. By the way, let me just add my strong endorsement of General Goodline's role in leading this. I don't know anybody better, for sure, better equipped to do it than he is.
Everybody.
Dude, this shit it's so fucking soy. Oh man, look at how good this guy is. Oh man, this guy's like the best. He's the most epic and shit like that. This is so fucking soy.
You said that. That's great. Dan Sullivan, Alaska, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your continued leadership on missile defense. We were talking earlier how in 2019 at the Pentagon, you laid out a speech.
Oh yeah, by the way, this Golden Dome thing doesn't cover Alaska. It doesn't seem to get over there for some reason. Are they gonna have to make like a separate thing for Alaska? Are they gonna cover all of Alaska or something? This is so silly, man.
About the Missile Defense Review that had all these principles on missile defense that you articulated then during your first term, and now the Golden Dome is all of that. So you're continuing to lead. We really appreciate it.
Again, I don't understand why do you? Okay, it makes sense during the Cold War why fucking Reagan probably thought America needed improved missile defense because he was presiding over the end of the Cold War. Okay, like yeah, there's an argument there, but like now. I'm not seeing it. I'll be honest. This just seems very silly.
The Congress is stepping up, as you mentioned, right now in the budget reconciliation bill. $25 billion for the Golden Dome. In what Senator Kramer and Senator Banks and many others, we're working on our. I briefed you on this before, sir. On our Golden Dome Act, which we think will have, in terms of legislation, that can help cement be here, sir. And Alaska is the cornerstone of missile defense right now in terms of ground-based missile interceptors, in terms of radar systems and track incoming missiles. So my state is honored to continue to play a critical role in all of this and build on it. And we're really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Great. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. President, as you had mentioned at the beginning of your remarks that this was a campaign promise of yours. Have military commanders asked for this system specifically? Because NORAD had said previously that the current system was adequate. So what does this get the United States?
Somebody said
Is it already?
That's a pretty good question there by that reporter. Well, you know what's going to happen to them? They're about to get replaced by someone else. I don't know why is
Why is this damn harlot asking me this question? What is this?
There really is no current system. We have certain areas of missiles and certain missile defense, but there's no system. We just have some very capable weapons that hopefully we never have to use, but we have some very capable weapons. Now, this is a different league. There's never been anything like this. This is something that's going to be very protective.
Yeah, of course, he's never going to really answer this question. He's just going to give a fucking non-answer because it's just like, there's no there. They're like, what's the threat? Oh, the threat is we're not giving enough money to the military-industrial complex. Obviously. That's the threat, guys. Totally.
You can rest assured there'll be nothing like this. Nobody else is capable of building it either.
Was it something the military commanders asked you for? Did they ask you to do this?
Well, let me put it differently. I suggested it, and they all said, we love the idea, sir. It's the way it's got to be, right? But they want it, and they wanted it badly once it was suggested. I don't know if they ever thought they would be lucky enough to have it.
Did they?
But, we were able to get it done.
Probably
We have all
not.
the funding, so pretty much tucked away. I think most people feel it's
We
very
got it done,
important.
though, folks. Let me
When
tell
first
you,
announced
it's
this idea,
brilliant,
critics
it's
said it would be
wonderful.
prohibitively expensive, potentially ineffective, and could trigger an arms race in space. What do you say to those critics about that?
Well, they're wrong. It's about as close to perfect as you can
Wrong.
get in terms of real production. I told you Canada wants to be a part of it, which be
They're just
fairly small
wrong.
expansion. But we'll work with them on pricing. We'll be dealing with them on pricing.
I love that's just his response to fucking critics. It's like,
They're just wrong. They're just not right. They're not accurate. They're full of shit. Completely wrong.
They know about it very much. They've asked to be a part of it, actually. They've asked us to be a part of it. I think it's something that
yeah, from what I understand, like in the talks that we had after like the press conference, I think between Carney and Trump, like the discussion probably came up, but we were about as surprised to hear this news as like anyone else. We're just like, oh, you're just gonna like lay that all threadbare and stuff. Okay, sure, cool. Yeah, we're like looking to potentially invest into this, and that's like basically all that that Carney has basically said. It's like yeah, like maybe we'll take a look at this. Why not?
is great. If you can afford to do it, we can afford to do it. We took in $5.1 trillion in the last 4 days in the Middle East, and when you think about it, this is a tiny fraction of that.
There is no fucking way that it was 5.1 trillion. I mean, this is also the same dude who says like,
well, a bunch of companies are investing like $9 trillion in the U.S.
and it's just like that's like just a completely misleading claim. I don't know. Eh. Also, like over how many fucking years, by the way, right? He's never gonna be specific about any of this stuff, right? It's all about like,
Look at this really big number. It's big and shiny and really cool and epic, guys, isn't it?
and that's like the sort of like key jingling that he constantly does, like to like his base, like
$5 trillion, guys. $5 trillion.
Sure, man, totally.
But we make it all here. We're going to make it all here. We have, when I will tell you, an adversary told me, a very big adversary told me the most brilliant people in the world at Silicon Valley said we cannot duplicate him. We can't. This was somebody that I won't tell you who it is, but you'd be amazed. We have the most brilliant minds in the world doing this kind of thing.
Boy Meets Mini, I wonder what you think of that claim in particular about like the brilliance of Silicon Valley tech oligarchs and tech bros. Boy Meets Mini, can you confirm this? I'm just curious. Are they as brilliant as Trump is saying? They have the greatest minds. He's saying that like Silicon Valley, they have the greatest, most brilliant, most powerful, most greatest minds on the planet. Like, what do you think of that? I'm curious. No. Drat.
The equipment, the space, the computers, everything. But I said that we just can't do it.
In the space, the
We have
computers,
Silicon
the
Valley. We
everything.
never have it.
Dude, all fucking Silicon Valley now works on is like between like fucking random ketamine binges is like, alright, so how can we like make life worse for everyone and replace all people with AI or some shit? That's literally what the work of Silicon Valley is nowadays. Let's be honest here. The people who work there do, but not the CEOs and the VCs. Oh, obviously, yeah. But when this motherfucker's talking about, like, he's not talking about the workers, obviously, the engineers, the software developers, and all the technicians. Fuck no, of course not. It's all about
We love the corporations. We love Elon Musk,
even though like Elon is not there anymore. Haha, fucking take the L, Elon, you fucking loser. Haha, fuck you, Elon. But no, when Trump's talking about this shit, he's not talking about like the actual like workers and stuff like that. He could give less of a shit about that. It's all about like just the tech CEOs and all that stuff. Like that's what he's mostly talking about.
been able to. And there's a very strong group of people and very strong minds, but they can't. So we have things that nobody else can have.
That's true.
And you see what we've done helping Israel with that. You probably wouldn't have in Israel. They launched probably 500 missiles altogether, and I think one half of a missile got through, and it was only falling to the ground as scrap metal. It's pretty amazing. And this is in terms of technology, far advanced from that system.
And just one follow-up on the adversaries. Have you addressed Russia's ventures in space with the
I
space?
guess he was talking about the Iron Dome there. Again, like, ultimately it just keeps bringing up the same question, like, why, right? Like, and like, if we're just doing like size comparisons, Israel is fucking tiny in comparison to the United States, so it's a lot easier for them to have their whole country covered by the fucking Iron Dome system, right? And you also have to ask yourself another question, like why? Why is Israel doing the things? Not Israel. Why is the U.S. doing the things that they're doing? It's because they just want to give more money to military contractors. That's like the only point in any of this. Like, otherwise, like, what purpose does this serve? What missile threat is the U.S. about to come under? Like, are the Russians going to start launching missiles all of a sudden into the U.S.? I doubt it. Why would they do that? They would get Article 5 into the ground and get fucking pummeled. Quite literally. They would not stand a fucking chance. This is why I'm just like, I'm looking at all of this and I'm just like thinking to myself, like, this is just really strange. Like, why are you doing this, Trump? Why are you doing this?
Space nuclear weapon and told Putin to stop in your conversations with him?
We haven't discussed it, but at the right time we will. Yeah.
Mr. President,
Well,
with the goal of
keeping
keeping Americans safe with this,
Wait, what was that little bit before?
We have in Israel. They launched probably 500 missiles altogether, and I think one half of a missile got through, and that was only falling to the ground as scrap metal. It's pretty amazing. And this is in terms of technology, far advanced from that system.
And just one follow-up on the adversaries. Have you addressed Russia's ventures in space with a space-based nuclear weapon and told Putin to stop in your conversations with him?
We haven't discussed it, but at the right time we will. Yeah.
Mr. President, with the goal of keeping Americans safe with this, can you talk about the timeline? How long will this take to complete?
We think it's going to be about a little bit less than 3 years.
No fucking shot that this is being done in 3 years. Nah, I don't believe that. No fucking way this is being done in like 3 fucking years. Stop the cat. There's no fucking shot this is done in 3 years. I'd be hella surprised if this was even done in like, what? Like 10 years, dude. Because, again, in comparison to the U.S., Israel is tiny. Tiny in comparison. So, you know, like, this is why, overall, I just think, like, this is just so fucking silly, dude.
And we'll have a big phase-in very early. You know, we're starting immediately with $25 billion. It'll cost about $175 billion completed, but we think in 2.5 to 3 years.
Are you confident that you can get the funding needed from Congress quickly?
It's amazing how easy this one is to fund. You know, some funding is tough and some is easy. When we say we're going to save everyone's lives in a crazy world, it seems to be very easy to get. Yeah, we've already spoken to everybody we have to speak to. Everybody's in, I would say, Dan, everybody's in line here.
Yes, sir. $25 billion is a down payment in the budget reconciliation bill right now.
Yeah, so I think people actually love it.
Okay, so if it's in the budget reconciliation bill that the $25 billion is in there, that's this one big beautiful bill. So far, that's having a lot of problems even being passed through Congress. The fiscal hawks don't fucking like it because it's proposing a bunch of new spending. A bunch of other sort of, like purple district Republicans also do not like the bill at all because the spending cuts that are being proposed are not put their elections at risk as well. So I'm not going to say it's going to be as easy as Trump thinks it is in order to pass his one big beautiful bill just because of this fucking piss dome that he wants to build or some shit. Like, okay, sure, man. It's all because of piss dome.
President, on Russia, are you worried about the reports on a military buildup along the borders towards Finland and Norway?
No, I don't worry about that at all. They're going to be very safe. Those are two countries that are going to be very safe.
And the second is, sorry, if I may, Volodymyr Zelensky saying today that he's hoping for you to impose new sanctions on Russia. Are you considering that?
Well, that's going to be my determination. That's going to be nobody else's determination. We'll see how Russia behaves. We see what's going to happen. You know, we have a pretty.
You better behave yourself, Russia.
Talked yesterday for 2.5 hours with President Putin. As you know, I also spoke to all of the European.
Yeah, we don't really know many of the details of that call, and from what I understand, it basically amounted to not really much of anything, to be honest. Like, Russia is still committed to its position. Same with the Ukrainians. like, basically, like, to be honest, the 2.5 hour call, from the basics that I understand, it was basically just like, okay, Russia, can you talk with the Ukrainians and try to get a ceasefire? And then he just wants to kick it over to the Vatican and the Pope. And that's, like, literally it. He basically just wants to salvage this as, like, some kind of a win, because he's kind of figured out at this point that, guess what? Hey, maybe getting a ceasefire. Actually, that's kind of difficult. That's actually kind of hard, guys. I don't know about getting this.
I don't know about this whole ceasefire business. It's not easy. Well, let me tell you, folks. Getting a ceasefire, not. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard, actually, guys.
European, or to many of them, leaders, but they were representing the whole. And I think we had very good conversations yesterday, please.
Thanks, Mr. President. What companies have asked to be involved in building the system, and have you decided on who will be building it?
Yeah, I think I'll let you answer that. You can mention some of yours from Alaska's involved, and Alaska's a big part of it because locationally they're sort of perfect. I think that's your first line of defense in certain instances. And Kevin will tell you that his state's involved. But honestly, all Georgia's going to be very big. Florida's going to be very big. They're all going to be very big. Jim, do you want to talk about Indiana?
Yeah, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I live, we make all the space satellites at L3 Harris. Across the board, we're the top manufacturing state in the country. By the way, the tariffs have been very good for auto manufacturing in Indiana. So good. But this is going to be
The tariffs have been so good. I must show deference to Dear Leader because those tariffs are in reality all fucking dog shit. Yeah, nah. I have to give them the you know. I gotta give Dear Leader the good suck because man, it's those tariffs, they've totally been good for us, guys, haven't they? Yeah, right.
Really good for the defense industry in my state. There's so much money involved here. They're going to be.
Here's the funny thing. This is a quick thing to make commentary on. Talking about this. For example, like, I know that, like, the Army has said, like, can you please stop, for the love of God, ordering Abrams tanks? We do not need any more. They're just sitting out here in the lot to just fucking rot. And I find that really funny because, in particular, a lot of states in the United States, say that like 5 times fast, a lot of states in the U.S. basically are just like, the senators have to, for their campaigns and whatnot, they basically have to say, like, what accomplishments that they have done or something. Like, something or anything at all. Because otherwise, like, what are they going back to their constituents with most of the time? Not really much of anything. I think this is the thing in Massachusetts, for example. They keep having to order, like, Abrams tanks to have, like, some form of, like, semblance of manufacturing still happen in the state. Because otherwise, like, fuck. This is gonna look really bad for my fucking poll numbers if I don't say, like, what I've done for manufacturing within the fucking state. God damn it. Because, again, of, like, fucking America's obsession and, like, it's a general sort of, like, conservative obsession with, like, hearkening back to the 50s. Which I always find to be extremely fucking irritating and annoying. It's just like, dog, like, you people need to fucking let go. Like, the 50s are not coming back, bro. It's not. How many, like, I don't know how many times, like, a fucking America needs to fucking cope and seethe about, like, the return with a V to the fucking 50s. It's not fucking happening. America's no longer a fucking export economy. Just focus on, like, tech and services, alright? Like, that's what you guys are nowadays. It's just, like, it is what it is. Like, that's why I also find these tariffs to be, like, also just incredibly fucking stupid. Because it's just, like, it's not going to accomplish the thing that these people think it's going to accomplish. It's going to be dumb.
A lot of American companies involved in making the Golden Dome.
You might also say, you're talking about the tariffs, here's some of the biggest auto plants in the world moving into Indiana, only for one reason, maybe 2 reasons, November 5th and the tariffs, okay? Yes, but the tariffs have driven tremendous business into this country, but you have one of the biggest in the world being
the Honda Civics,
right?
The new Honda Civic made in Indiana. GM has added jobs. Eli Lilly moving pharmaceutical manufacturing from China to the United States, $27 billion. You go on.
We love cars, don't we, folks?
Because of the tariffs.
Our country was cold as ice a year ago. And now we have the hottest country in the world. This is the hottest country in the world. Nobody even close. If you look at even this last trip that I made.
We're so hot, so beautiful, so sexy.
Laughed at all over the world, and now we're the hottest country in the world by far. Dan, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I think when you look at the system that you laid out, it's an idea in your executive order of a layered defense. So you have initial ground-based missile interceptors, which are made by some of the big defense companies, Lockheed, Martin, Raytheon. But the beauty of your vision, Mr. President, is that it's layered, it's open architecture, and it goes up into space. So this is going to be some of the new defense tech companies that are very interested in it and can bring missile defense at a cost that I don't think, you said it, Mr. President, is unimaginable in terms of how much lower the cost is. So it's all across the board in terms of companies. Senator Kramer and I just met with a bunch of them last week that are interested in this. You said it earlier, Mr. President. Our technology sector is head and shoulders above any other place in the world, and they're going to be a key part of this, and I think that's why it makes it so exciting.
Mr. President, I think one of the things is, and you alluded to this, the new autonomous space age defense ecosystem is more about Silicon Valley than it is about big metal, right? And so what's exciting about this is it makes it available to everybody to participate, to compete, big companies, mid-sized companies, small companies, but General Gutlein is the perfect person, again, to sort all that out because he understands how it has to work together ultimately.
And Pete, maybe we'll close with you. We have been discussing this for a long time. Peter and I used to discuss it when I was going to go on a show that he did very well and had tremendous ratings, but all he wanted to talk about was the military. He didn't want to talk about anything else. We used to talk about this. How about you closing it out?
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, without your vision, willing to say and do things when other people wanted to look away and pretend like the threat didn't exist, or be focused on foreign adventurism, some other threat.
There is no threat. You guys have not presented any threat. And I find it really funny that Pete Hegseth is talking about foreign fucking adventurism. Dog, you guys are... Like, are they still bombing the fucking Houthis? I'm pretty sure they stopped bombing the fucking Houthis because of the fact that... shit. Fuck. Us bombing these Houthis is not doing anything. Why don't we just, like, leave? We don't have to bomb these guys anymore and just leave and just pretend that we did everything and just move on with our lives. It's just fucking silly, man. Like, these motherfuckers have basically done, well, nothing, really, in terms of, like, dealing with, like, the Houthis or whatever. It's just been complete fucking nonsense the whole way through and through. It's just stupid.
Threat that we've been told is affecting us. When you look at the data, sir, from Russia to the Communist Chinese and other, their capabilities, what they're trying to do to supersede us and threaten us, how do we find the best innovators, the best military leaders, the best companies, tech companies? You mentioned open architecture, that's exactly right. So multiple companies can pour into this, sir. It's a layered defense, so if you miss at one, you catch at the next. And it integrates existing technologies that can speak to each other, so it moves quickly while also investing in further ranging space-based interceptors. So our enemies, our adversaries, are going to pay a lot of attention to this, just like they have to President Trump from day one. So you're defending the homeland, defending the American people. It's going to benefit my kids, grandkids, all of ours in this room. So thank you for your leadership. We're going to try to get as fast as we can.
Very good. Great job, everybody.
They don't want to talk about non-foreign threats because they know the right be committing all those acts of terror, and that's a pretty good point there, Zane.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Will Elon Musk and Starlink be involved in this? Will Elon Musk be a part of this? Thank you, Press.
No cuts. No cuts to medical. No cuts to medical.
Thank you. Thank you, Press.
He's also trying to assuage potential like fears of cuts to Medicaid as well in the big beautiful bill. Yeah, buddy, those cuts to Medicaid are happening whether you fucking like it or not. Like, yeah, that shit's not fucking happening, Buster. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. What else is there to say about any of this? It's just a complete kick into the bill or just like not kick into the bill, just it's just an excuse, right? To give the military industrial complex more money. That's really about it, right? Trump's not doing this for like any defense reasons or because like that's what Reagan would have wanted. That doesn't fucking matter. It's stupid and silly fucking nonsense, to be quite honest. Like Trump's just saying like, well, listen, folks, we gotta have our great defenses. It's so good, very good. And like, who's currently threatening the U.S. right now? And some like nebulous threat or something. It's complete fucking utter nonsense is mostly just what I'm trying to point out here. There's like no basis for any of these claims whatsoever. It's just an excuse for Trump to justify his $1 trillion fucking budget for the Pentagon. That's the point of this overall. Like, there's no other point of this. Yeah, it's definitely the Houthis, which apparently they've surrendered or something. It's complete fucking nonsense. There's really not much else to say about this besides, whoa, crazy. This isn't about, like, missile defense or Ronald Reagan or whatever the fuck. It's all about just trying to give as much money to the fucking military-industrial complex as possible. Because, again, whoa, who would have thought? Trump's fucking full of shit. And he doesn't give a shit functionally at all. So, that's cool. Yeah, actually, this is the Rebel Alliance. That's true. That's true, Boy Meets Mini. Definitely not the Empire. God, those fucking Star Wars fucking tweets were so stupid, but that's a whole other fucking can of worms. Yeah. This is just like basically an excuse to give the MIC just way more fucking money. Yeah, like, I mean, if you think of it, like, I mean, if you're not thinking of it in any other way, I don't know, you're just a dope. Let's be honest here, just a dope.